Hello Taurus, Taurus rising, and of course all of you Taurus moon people out there. This is your weekly astrological and card horoscope for the week starting January 20th, 2020. And just a quick reminder for everybody out there, should you ever wish to get a session, you do need to go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or of course you can also just simply follow the links below. Don't forget Patreon people, if you are curious about the new moon energy, we talked about that in the monthly horoscopes for January, which again are available on Patreon. Just follow the links below for that as well. So what's going on when it comes to your astrology over the course of this coming week? On Wednesday, we actually have the Sun in Aquarius, your 10th house of career, forming a square to Uranus, which is actually in your sign. And there does seem to actually be a very strong breakthrough coming your way that actually disrupts a course that you're on. I've been telling everybody it's a very course corrective kind of week. Now with the Sun in your 10th house of career, upward mobility, promotions, and social prominence, it's overwhelmingly positive news. It's actually a chance to maybe even start performing and living your career or the mark you want to make on the world, however you do it, whether you get paid or not. There actually is, again, a breakthrough here that allows such a thing to be incorporated into your everyday life. But the square that it's making to Uranus in your sign is ultimately saying that we have to shed or leave a plan that we have already been sort of committed to. Now, Uranus in your sign is, again, dissolving structures around you, things that have been too fixed, things that have been too firm, maybe things that have been with you for far too long, and we're kind of rebelling against all of our old itineraries, our old conditioning anyway. But with the Sun, you've got a very, very cool energy with this square, because what it's doing is it's offering you a chance to do something that you yourself actually abandoned, something that you yourself tricked yourself into having a negative opinion of just to protect yourself from taking the risk of doing it. Very cool energy. Now you get a chance to work it in. On Thursday, we actually have the planet Venus, planet of love, harmony, affection, kindness, favor, all of that good stuff in your 11th house of friendships and social networking, Pisces, forming a gorgeous sextile to Jupiter, which is actually in your 9th house of higher education, government legal proceedings, travel, as well as culture, your spiritual life, and your connections abroad. And it does look like a beautiful alliance is being struck during this period, possibly with a friend in your spiritual group, or maybe new friends being attracted to you that are resonant with your spiritual path, or possibly even a chance for some of you to build on or crystallize a friendship or even a romantic relationship that could be rooted in either your spiritual life or closing the distance in a long-distance connection, maybe even a business opportunity being brought your way through somebody either living abroad or something along those lines is really opening up the world to you Taurus people. Venus indicates some kind of gift of love and or support. This might even be something that is coming from somebody that you would consider to be a bit of a senpai in that sense, you know, sort of somebody who you look up to almost as either a role model or somebody that maybe not necessarily a mentor type of energy, but somebody that you look at as sort of a role model or a personal hero, somebody you admire because of that Jupiterian energy in there as well. But that distance, even in a social sense, is all in your head, and something brings you closer to an opportunity to either work with that person or maybe to develop a stronger bond in that sense with what they are doing and bringing you closer to your own personal ideal, goal, dream, what have you. Now, before we get to the cards, remember, if there's ever a video that you are looking for, please, for the love of God, just go to the links below and check out the video that tells you how to find videos you might not be finding. Or you can just click on my avatar, go to my main channel page, and scroll down and look at all the playlists, okay? So I'm just making sure people get that. Hopefully I won't have to do this after this month, but you never know, because a lot of new people pop up as well. So, moving on, what is going on when it comes to your cards? And again, the top row when it comes to the spiritual themes, what is playing out here? We've got the Nine of Cups upright. There is a huge breakthrough when it comes to the topic of wish fulfillment. All right, living a fantasy, getting some kind of, no matter how insane or maybe impractical the imaginings, something is actually getting put on the table, something that you actually may have decided to compartmentalize as sort of a place that you go when you want to go to your happy place, all of a sudden becomes a reality or an option for a reality for you. Because with the influx and the outflux cards as well, you have this sort of change in your relationships with others. With the outflux of the King of Pentacles, a lot of you Taurus people are in a space where we are letting go of power dynamics, where we may have put people on pedestals, where we might think that we have to kind of aspire to be in a certain place before we can have a certain thing. The King of Pentacles is not a bad card by any stretch of the imagination, but when he's going away, it's almost like he's getting into his casual clothes, right? He's no longer this sort of inaccessible status. And it's not a person I'm speaking to. As an outflux, we're talking about the energy. Something becomes practical and accessible to you when this card goes away. In fact, with the influx of the Knight of Pentacles upright, a lot of you Taurus people are getting a chance to, again, begin to work with your ideals, work with your role models, work with your mentors. Again, senpai is no longer senpai. Senpai is a BFF. Senpai is, in the crew. Senpai is now on that team with you, so to speak, however you define that, all right? And when we have the Knight, and for people who are going to ask what the hell am I talking about when I say senpai, help them out. Answer those questions in the comments below for me. I don't know if I'll be able to come back and copy and paste over and over this week. But with the Knight of Pentacles, there is this opportunity for a lot of you Taurus people to start taking things that have been largely non-physical, largely imaginative, largely improbable, and make them so. In fact, the Knight of Pentacles, a lot of you are also attracting in people who are already working on, or maybe further down the path, to having the ideal working situation or quality of life that you want. We're no longer sort of the only person in our group, in our crew, in our social life that wants a certain outcome. This could be people waking up spiritually, people waking up in a practical sense, taking things more seriously, becoming more disciplined. Believe me, you are feeling anything but solitary and alone this week. So moving on to your mundane concerns, what's going on with the just the practical everyday kind of stuff. Well, for your material concerns, we have the Knight of Swords upright. And somebody actually goes and obliterates some kind of challenge, some kind of problem that you have. With the Knight of Swords, you've probably heard me say this before, we have a champion coming to help us out. Somebody actually championing our cause or our ideal or our goal, fighting a battle for us and winning. And in a lot of cases, this is somebody who is going to come and stay. In fact, with the Knight of Swords, what we often see is that this could be maybe an advocate securing a job, or maybe the procurement of some financial resources for you, or possibly somebody who is actually fending off what might be seen as a threat or an obstacle. And with the Knight of Swords, again, their victory is swift, but I want you to understand that Knight of Swords energy moves very, very quickly. It might seem too much too fast, or the way they handle it might seem a bit brutal to the other party. It's not happening to you, and maybe you feel like it's not something that you could do, but you can't, they can. And so let this person take the reins. We'll deal with whatever feelings we have about their methods and means after we've gotten to the good place. When it comes to the external, for your friends and your relatives, again, with the Fool card upright, well, new friends coming in, also at the same time, possibly a lot of you having, again, distances, I say again a lot, I'm sorry, distances shortened, distances shortened between you and people that you see as, again, your bestest friends, or however you want to look at it. Because with the Fool, there's a huge shift to your social surroundings. You are getting pulled up into, I guess, what you would call your most complementary sense of belonging. And I'm not talking about tribalism. You know I don't support that or advocate that. But this sense of being with people that already have that kind of tether to your own personal growth, your own spiritual path, your own life stream, if that makes sense. The Fool card upright is indicating possibly a new hangout, a new clique, a new crew forming out of existing people who resonate with it and new people that resonate with it for you. Your entire support system is going through an evolution and course correction process this week. Relationships, very, very nice. We've got the King of Wands upright. And when it comes to the King of Wands, this relationship energy is all about, again, getting yourself into a space where you and a partner, or maybe you and somebody new, are actually acting on your desires and impulses as opposed to simply processing them for far too long. Now, that doesn't mean that we're doing anything senseless. We're not doing anything risky. We're not doing anything that could put anybody in harm's way in any way, shape, or form. But with the King of Wands, there's sort of a drive in your partner or in your crush or in yourself or somebody new to finally start using all avenues of this relationship for what it is. Whatever we've declared the constitution of this relationship to be comes into full swing. The King of Wands is also about being driven to be more demonstrative when it comes to love and romance. You may be noticing that a partner is becoming more adventurous, more inspired, and a lot more self-possessed. We also notice that for you, with the King of Wands, people are being more forward with their interest in you. People are being more declarative with you. And this can feel like you're getting a little bit knocked off center because it's a lot of information to receive in a short period. It's honest, it's true, but maybe you're used to playing a subtler game. We are earth signs after all. I'm not a Taurus, I'm a Virgo, but you know what I mean. We like to play in the tension for a little bit. Well, the King of Wands doesn't do tension very much. They tend to be a little bit more freeing, a little bit more why the hell not, a little bit more fancy-free, carefree. And I like that energy for you because it's allowing you to incorporate a new sensibility into an existing relationship or possibly into your relationship style via a new person. So that is your horoscope, Taurus. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Y'all know I appreciate it. And if you ever wish to get a session, just go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com.